Houston, we have a problem.
Give me all you got!
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Give me back my gun! I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
So when I started doing improv again in St. Louis, I went through all the classes because I hadn't really done any improv since COVID hit because it wasn't happening, and I wasn't going to do the online Zoom improv that everyone was doing because it sucked. And I ended up on a team. It was an okay team. Like there were 12, 13, 14 people, which when you have a team that big, there's too many fucking people.
Wow, 14 people
And
on
there's
one team?
Yeah, it was a class team.
Oh, was that the whole class?
So yeah, so it's kind of like a sports team in like a flyover state high school. Like nobody's getting cut. Like it's just, hey, we're going through these 6 classes together, and we're going to perform as a part of one of the classes. And so I end up on a team with these 14 people. And I'm in this sketch with this older gentleman. He was like, he's one of those guys that's very in the know about the improv scene. Not very good at improv, though. And I won't name him, but he's very like, we're in the middle of a scene, and he drops a Jamaican accent on me.
Oh, God.
And I'm not going to try to even do his Jamaican accent because it was very good. It was a very good Jamaican accent. This is a very white man.
I assume.
And my white guilt immediately hit me. I was like, oh no. And this isn't rehearsal or anything. This isn't practice. This is in the middle of a show.
On stage.
And the main stage, Thursday night. It's the theater's at its fullest that I've ever seen it when I'm in there. And I just freeze up, and I throw out the worst Irish accent I've ever done in my life to try and save it. And thankfully, somebody edited the scene almost immediately, got me out of there. That was a good partner right there. That's a very underrated skill in improv is editing. So for anyone taking improv right now, edit. I will have you guys know I am no longer on a team with that gentleman or most of those people. I'm on a 4-person team. Thankfully, I'm no longer on a team with that gentleman because he, it turns out, registered pedophile.
Oh, there's layers to this story.
Yeah, so that's the story about how I did improv with a pedophile who had a pretty good Jamaican accent.
What, did you know he was a registered pedophile when this incident happened, or did you find out afterwards?
I found out after because I have kids. I'm a dad. I mean, this is a dad movie podcast.
Yeah.
And one of the older women in the group pulled me aside. I was like, "Hey, I want to make sure you're aware of this." Pulled up the website, showed me, and it wasn't innocent little, oh, he peed on a playground when he wasn't supposed to type shit. It was egregious shit.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh,
okay, wow."
And Matt, I don't know if we follow each other. I don't know if we follow each other on Instagram. Do you follow me?
No, I don't really use Instagram.
Well, I'm gonna send you a link real quick. Give me 1 second.
All right. Well, he does that. I will say hello and welcome to Stand and Watch, the premier dad movie podcast. In fact, the only dad movie podcast because we killed all the other ones that tried to start up.
We murdered them.
Yeah. I don't mean like kill like we killed the shows, like we sent a season, like we murdered those men.
They're kids, orphans.
Yeah, there are kids now actually because they need father figures in their lives, and well, we're there to provide because their fathers can't.
We provided.
Yeah, because we killed them.
I'm sending you a picture of this improv group, and I want to see if you can pick the pedophile.
Okay. This is a
It's
great
new segment of the show, by the way.
A new segment called Pick the Pet. Great segment for a podcast that doesn't have a video component to it.
We can put it up on. No, this will all probably be cut, but that's okay.
Should I
me
cut it?
send
That's
you-
more work for me.
That is more work. Just keep it. Keep it.
I mean,
As long as you're editing out names when I talk about my nepo baby nemesis.
Listen, the people know that we'll get to Civil War eventually, but they also want to know, will Matt be able to pick out the pedophile correctly? They don't need to see people don't need to see the picture. You just need to know whether I picked the pedophile out correctly. All right, I'm looking at the picture.
You just need to know that I am in a picture with a pedophile on stage at a theater.
I'm going to look at this on my phone so I can zoom in better. All right. So, I'm opening up Discord on my phone. I just don't want any dead air here.
You're good. So, Matt, there are 9 people in this photo. You know one of them's not a pedophile.
Allegedly.
So you have 8 to pick from.
All right.
Allegedly. You have 8 people to pick from. I've narrowed it down by identifying this person as a man. So, Matt, pick that pedophile.
Guy on the end in the maroon shirt.
Ding, 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 ding. You have picked the pedophile, Matthew.
Oh, God. Yeah, that'll do it.
It's a shame because that's a really good photo.
It is a good photo.
Have you ever been on one of those subreddits where people like Photoshop requests where people ask for stuff and it's sometimes sad? They'd be like, oh,
No.
this is this is of me and this person, but there's this bird pooping in the background. Can you take the bird out? Maybe I'll post this picture on there and be like, hey, can you take the pedophile in the red shirt out?
I have not been on those subreddits. I've seen those images where they're like, hey, can you edit this out? And the guy does like a funny Photoshop instead.
Oh, they're hilarious. Or like it'll be a person that's like, hey, can you slim me down a little bit? Can you make me look good? I feel a little fat in this photo. And the first reply is always just someone reposting the photo and being like, you look good, champ.
Yeah, but I like the ones where, could you slim me down a little? I feel a little fat in the photo. And the guy's like, okay, here you go. And he gives him a picture of them just completely cropped into like a piece of paper. Those ones I enjoy.
There was one where it was a family picture. The mom, the background was the beach, so there was water behind them. The mom was wearing a blue dress, so the way the waves hit behind her, it made her look like part of the ocean was her. So it wasn't very flattering. She looked a little bigger.
Okay.
And she was like, "Hey, could you guys can you change the water up? Like it matches." And there were assholes in there changing all of the water to match her. And it was pretty good. But yeah, hey, moms out there, if you're going to take family photos on the beach, maybe don't match the water if it's going to be behind you.
Yeah. And speaking of photos, what movie are we talking about this week, Nick?
We are talking about Civil War. I've got the Wikipedia up on this. Let me pull this up. The American Civil War was a civil war in the United... Oh, wait, this is the American Civil War Wikipedia page. Let me switch that over. Civil War is a 2024 dystopian thriller film written and directed by Alex Garland, starring Kristen Dunst, Wagner Moura, Kaylee Spaney, Stephen McKinley Henderson, Sonia Mizuna, and Nick Offerman. I'm going to do a little bit of the plot real quick. Plot follows a team of war journalists traveling from New York City to Washington, D.C. during a civil war fought across the U.S. between a despotic federal government and secessionist movements to interview the president before rebels take the capital city. So I think this is the first movie we're doing that released this calendar year, right?
No.
Oh, never mind. Twisters.
This is
Twisters.
And Ungentlemanly Warfare.
That was this year. Holy shit.
That was this year. That was in April.
That movie feels so old. I'm just giving you more stuff to edit out, but I know you're not going to. That's fine. So this movie came out April 12th, 2024. It was premiered at South by Southwest back in March. People were drooling over this movie at South by Southwest. I remember this very much. This movie also caught some flack for using AI art for its movie posters, if I remember correctly.
Did it really?
Yeah, there's a weird one with a helicopter and a fence. I'm going to see if I can pull that up for you. But
that I don't remember. I know it caught some flack from some people for some other reasons.
Oh, yeah, definitely. People were very weird about this movie.
Yeah. I remember it came out at South by Southwest and people were raving about it. Alex Garland is back. And, after his one bad movie. And they're like, yeah, it's great. And then like closer to release, people were like, this is fucking shit. Doesn't say anything. Fucking sitting on the fence.
They didn't pick a side. Didn't pick a side. Matt, you know what? I agree with these people. If my media is not picking a side, I don't fucking watch it.
Yeah, it's not pick. Yeah, they didn't pick a side. Is fucking bull crap. And then I'm like, ooh, well, I'm still, glad I didn't listen.
Media.
I'm glad I didn't listen to those people and went to see this.
I need my media to line up with how I feel about every situation.
Oh wow, yeah, AI posters. I did not see this.
Some of them, like they don't look bad. I mean, hire artists, you fucking cheap fucks.
Yeah.
Like I really like I think this one is Chicago. It looks Chicagoan. The one with the boats on the water. You could easily just take that photo and actually do some good Photoshop instead of using AI art.
Yeah.
But so be it. The swan one's really weird.
Yeah, is it a swan boat or is it just a big swan? Yeah, I didn't really see any of these.
I remember them being egregious. Like the one that's done, it's got the neon lighting over the cars. I remember seeing that one and thinking, man, that looked like shit.
Yeah, I've never seen these. I've only seen like the one on Wikipedia. Like that's
There was a weird one with a helicopter. It's not in this article. I'm gonna keep looking, but that one and then the neon light one, I was like, yeah, this looks like shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I've only seen like the one on Wikipedia. Like that's one that was in my theater when I went to see it. So that's the one. That's the only one I've seen.
I love the way this Hollywood Reporter article ends. I don't know if you saw this. Ironically enough, before Civil War, Garland was perhaps best known for his 2014 directorial debut, Ex Machina, a film that warned about the dangers of AI. They're not wrong.
Gotta love some irony.
Womp 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 womp.
Anyway, so yeah.
But okay. The people who were up in arms about the movie not picking a side are fucking stupid.
Yes, I think when we got this on the wheel, I said that they were stupid. I believe when we got it on the wheel, which for the listeners was a week ago, and for us was several weeks ago. I was like, yeah, this is very much a movie. This is the movie that's very much a litmus test for which of your friends are idiots.
If you want to know which of your friends are media literate, this is the movie. This is the movie to watch with them.
Yeah. See which ones are mad that it didn't pick a side. See which ones are mad that they didn't go into why they're at war.
But war never changes, Matt. That's what the video games have taught me that I play. That's Fallout, but Fallout, not very political game series. So
that's true. But then again, there's another not very political game series, Metal Gear Solid, not political at all, and they say that war has changed.
I play Metal Gear to shoot the guns and lean against the wall and knock and make the guy go, huh? And then come look at me, and then I run around in a box. Yeah. That politics stuff, I'm not trying to watch a movie. If I were trying to watch a movie, I'd watch a movie.
Yeah.
I'm not watching those cutscenes. I don't need the politics. Just give me the gun.
Yeah.
Let me shoot the bad guy. I don't need to know the context of why he's a bad guy. Just let me shoot him.
If you want to see what Hideo Kojima would do with no gameplay whatsoever, Megalopolis in theaters now.
Have you seen Megalopolis?
I have not seen it yet, but I really want to because I'm so curious. But every image and clip I've seen of it is like, this is what a Kojima project would be like if there was just no game.
Oh man, we're gonna next wheel Megalopolis is going on there.
There's a character in the movie named WoW Platinum. If that's not Kojima, I don't know what is.
WoW Platinum, right up there with I'm forgetting. Throw out some Death Stranding names.
Die Hardman.
Die Hardman.
Do you know what Die Hardman's like real name is?
No, I don't think I got that far in the game.
Really? I thought you beat it.
I got about halfway and then I watched my brother beat it, so I don't remember the details.
Okay, so Die Hardman's full name is John Blake McClane.
Jesus fucking Christ. I can't decide. I don't know if Kojima's fucking with us or if he's just fucking insane.
Both. Anyway.
If they get that movie, if Kojima's movie ever sees the light of day, that what a day it's gonna be.
You mean like if he makes a movie?
Well, there
'Cause
someone's doing a Death Stranding movie. I forget who. I think A24, right?
A24. There's no director attached yet. Is doing a Death Stranding movie, and there's a Metal Gear movie in development by the guy who did Kong Skull Island.
It's been in development forever, though. They attached Oscar Isaac to that years ago now.
Yeah, but as far as I know, it's still in development.
I know we want to get back to Civil War, but I still think Gary Oldman would be the perfect Revolver Ocelot. I know he wants to get away from playing Rent for Cop bad guy, but that man, it screams Revolver Ocelot. Make him Revolver Ocelot.
Oh yeah, I can see, especially now with the long hair.
He's perfect for it. Put him. Hey, anyone working on that Metal Gear movie, call Gary Oldman. Just so I can hear him say "lalu lelelo."
Yeah, and look, he's British too. The British actors are famous for doing anything.
Put him in the movie.
Yeah.
But no. So what do you say we get back to Civil War?
I say we get back to Civil War with our dad-approved letterboxed reviews.
Yeah. I've got mine right here.
How many do you have?
I think I've got a second one.
Okay, I got 2.
Yeah, I've got 2 as well. So I've got my first one from Sophie Halsinger, who is a patron on Letterboxd. Good for you, Moneybags. She gave Civil War 2 stars and said, "You're telling me the very best place for the President of the United States to hide was under the Oval Office desk? Hollow movie." I like that for how she's kind of got a point.
Yeah,
and then
I'm pretty sure they have a bunker.
Yeah, they've got those rooms. I've seen them. I've seen the Rick and Morty episodes where they're in the White House. And then the other review I've got, Amanda the Jedi, also a Letterboxd patron. Again, these people with their money. Jesse needs a good slap. Keep your feet moving. She gave it a heart.
All right. I got 2 reviews here. I got one from Jesse, no last name, but they are a patron. Excellent work, Jesse. Gave the movie 3.5 stars and wrote, "If this ends up happening in real life, I'm using it as an opportunity to go full Snake Plissken. Take a picture of that." And then I got another one here from AA Ron, who is also a patron. Good for you, AA Ron. Again, no last names. Come on, people. Who gave it 4.5 stars. And I just think this is one of the most dad-coded reviews I've ever seen. Aaron writes, "I just think that Alex Garland is very good at his job."
That might be the best Letterboxd review that's ever been read on this show.
I think it is.
That was really good. That was really fucking good. What? Not to get too far off track, but what is the benefit of being a patron on Letterboxd?
I think you get more comprehensive stats that you can look at. I know that I know they do that. You know how they do the end of year thing where you can be like, who is your most watched actor of the year, blah 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 blah. It's like that kind of stuff, but whenever you want to look at it, kind of thing.
Oh, that's cool. Good for those folks.
Yeah, I think you can change posters if you want, on the page or whatever. And choose.
Oh, that's cool. So
posters.
if you made your own little AI poster, you could switch it in.
There was one guy a while ago I saw on Twitter who was changing every poster to just be Peter Griffin. And people were sharing them and were why are there so many Peter Griffin posters for these movies? why are they even in the database?
It'd be great if it was for movies that were considered great, but it's his. I didn't like The Godfather. It insist upon it. So he's putting that picture up for movies that he feels that way about.
Yeah, I think you can also pin reviews to your page. So if you want certain reviews to stuff like that. Hang on, I'm just gonna go on Letterboxd. All right, okay. If you're a pro member, personalized annual and all-time stats page based on diary entries and watched films. Select and filter by your favorite streaming services picked from any service listed on JustWatch.com and get notified when films in your watch list arrive on those services. Track films you own. Filter activity feed by type. Pin content to your profile. Duplicate lists. Bulk tag management, change your username, and more. And if you're a patron, Pick your favorite poster for each film, backdrops added to your profile, reviews, and lists. Your name and lights on our patrons page and early access to beta features, plus the undying gratitude of everyone at Letterboxd HQ. $65 a year.
So then my follow-up question is, does the podcast need a letterbox?
Does it? Because I have a Letterboxd and you have a Letterboxd.
True. We could just can we touch our letterboxes?
I don't think so.
That would be cool. Kind of like how like Instagram does, where you can do the collaborative post.
That would be a nice feature, but yeah, I don't. Do we need a letter? Because like I log the movies when I watch them, and you log them sometimes when you watch them.
I've become speaking of dad coded, I've just become very anti-app lately.
No,
where I'm like,
good for you.
I need less time on this hell site.
Yeah, no, good for you. I like it just because I like logging my movies so I can like look back and be like, when did I watch that last?
I do want to start doing that because I've started using an app for my comic books, and I'm like, I do like the functionality of being able to like log stuff for like my own personal use and not for other people. I like the aspect of it's for me, it's not for them, and I think that's kind of what social media has lost a little bit.
I like reviewing them and like rating them just for me because I like being like, yeah, that's pretty good. That's like 3.5 stars, and sometimes I come up with what I think are funny one-line reviews.
Letterboxd did get me off my grumpy stump of no funny reviews. It needs to be serious all the time. Like, no, you're not. Yeah, you're not Ebert and Roper. You can be funny in these. Do that, whatever. Who cares? Have fun.
My review philosophy is I'll give it a star rating, and then just whatever the first thing that pops in my mind, that's what I'm typing. If it's a funny one-liner, great. If it's some solemn soliloquy on the nature of life, then fine. Whatever. There's room for both types of reviews. But yeah, I like it just be like, when did I watch that? And be able to like go in my like diary and be like, April 29th.
So you know how like companies option tweets and make them into movies?
Do they still do that?
They still do that. It doesn't happen as much, but I'm waiting for the day where a company like comes across a Letterboxd review and it does something batshit crazy, and they're like, we have to option this Letterboxd review, and then they make it into a movie or a TV show.
Oh God, it's gonna be This Happened to My Buddy Eric, isn't it?
Gonna happen.
It's gonna be that one.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be like the most upvoted or most cheered, whatever the fuck they do on Letterboxd.
I'm pretty sure the most liked Letterboxd review ever is for The Joker 2019. This Happened to My Buddy Eric.
Dumbest review, and it's gonna be a movie coming to you soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need a letterbox for the podcast because what would it accomplish?
That's for the best. That it'd probably take off, and we'd get it optioned and get it made into a movie. Are some of our reviews? So yeah.
Plus, we have different reviews sometimes. Like, what would our account's ambulance review be?
It'd be terrible,
right? Because I gave it 4 stars and you gave it like what, like 2?
I think I gave it 2. So we'd have to meet in the middle, and we'd have to each grudgingly be like, all right, I guess it's a 3.
Yeah, no, I don't know. No, I liked Letterboxd for me. We don't need Letterboxd doesn't need to become a place for accounts.
We don't need to be the couple on Facebook that shares a Facebook account.
Yeah, if you want our Letterboxd reviews, just go to our personal Letterboxd pages.
Yeah, do that.
If you want the Stand and Watch Dad movie review, come to the podcast.
We're so distracted, and I love it. And it's because we're mad this movie didn't pick a side.
Yeah. If this movie picked a side, we would have been talking about it 20 minutes ago.
We're more concentrated, but instead we're gonna take an Always Sunny podcast swerve and not talk about the episode or the movie at all.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, in my defense, it's 12:45 in the morning for me. So
yeah, it's getting late here too.
Yeah,
but do you want to? Is it sandwich time?
Yes, it's the criticism sandwich. A nice old. I guess it's a dislike patty in between 2 like buns because, yeah.
And I've said it before. I've always thought that metaphor is weird because I'm always more looking forward to the meat than I am the bread. But whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm listening to it now. I was like, the patty should be the likes, but then see the problem with that is then you're going, let's talk about what we dislike, then let's talk about what we like, then let's talk about what we dislike. Then you're just overly negative.
Right. You always want to end on a positive.
Right.
Which I really like the pacing of this movie. I was concerned because there's some Garland movies where I'm like the pacing's all over the like this movie feels slow. Like I love Annihilation's one of my favorites between the book and movie, and I just remember the movie kind of just meandering a little bit.
Really, it's a good movie though. I still have to see that.
I love it. It just feels like you could have cut 20 minutes of this.
I was gonna see that when it came out, and I saw Game Night instead.
I saw it, and there were annoying teenagers talking the whole movie, but I enjoyed it. Very beautiful, very scary movie. It just felt a little long and a little paced weirdly. The only other Garland I've seen is Ex Machina, and I thought that one was fine pacing wise. But then I've heard like, was he the beach? I think he was the beach, if I remember correctly.
What? Oh, he might have written The Beach, yeah.
And then Men, which is
Men,
on the wheel, by the way.
Men is on the wheel. It is on the wheel, and I've heard nothing but bad things.
So I guess we'll find out if he does have a pacing issue. But I remember going into this worried, but no, pacing is fine. I really like it. It starts off really quiet. It's a little ham-fisted in the beginning when they're like, oh, the front lines at Charlottesville, and I was like, oh god, not Charlottesville. Damn it. Is it gonna be this on the nose the entire time?
Yeah, no, it's a road trip movie, so it's paced like a road trip movie. There's really no meandering. I think, yeah, I have a little bit of a problem with the pacing near the end, but I'll get into that when we get to the dislike Patty.
The pacing of this road trip was how I wanted I know we're comparing TV shows to movies with this, but it's how I wanted the Last of Us TV series to feel, because that is a big ass road trip. And I don't know, that felt off. This feels good. Like they have a few stops. Things almost always go wrong at these stops until like one of the last ones where it really goes wrong.
Yep. It's your classic road trip structure.
And I'm if I'm watching a movie about journalism, like Spotlight's one of my favorite movies. The Post is okay, not as good as Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, Nick, this movie's about journalism. But well, let's fucking watch it. Let's fucking go. And I really like what it has to say about humanity and journalism.
Yes. I'll use that as a segue into one of my likes. I like how uncomfortable it wants you to be with it. Like, no one, like, this movie doesn't want you to like walk away feeling like I'm a good person. I picked the good. This back to the whole. They didn't pick a side. This movie doesn't want you to walk away and be like, oh, I'm a good person because I'm on the good side. Like no, like everyone in this movie, like no one's off the hook. Like even the journalists are like yeah, what they're doing is like I guess good, but also they're kind of pricks and they're kind of part of the problem, and they kind of don't see a problem with that. Like a lot
and I think it makes an argument like the better journalist you are, the worse. The further you go into being a better journalist, you kind of become a worse human along the way.
Yeah,
you kind of lose your humanity.
It's because like this movie is just people are like, oh, it doesn't pick a side, it doesn't go into the politics of the war, and I'm like, well, because that doesn't matter. The war has started. The movie's not about that anyway. It's about like what happens. The movie's not about the war. The movie's like what happens when the war is there. And it's like everybody's complicit. Like, cause a lesser movie would have been like, this is the good side, this is the bad side, these are the heroic journalists doing their job, taking the pictures. But this movie's like, yeah, but like, obviously like, they do, like, they're very brave for like going into these war zones to take these pictures. But like at the same time, like, why are they so obsessed with, I gotta get a really good shot of this horrific violence so it looks really cool, so people can look at it and be like, wow, that's a great fucking photo. Like, it's kind of part of the problem of people not caring, right? And
I remember I forget who the world leader was. I think it was someone in Europe probably. But they were at like some convention or something where a leader was speaking, and someone pulls a gun out, kills the leader, and then someone snaps a photo of the assassin holding the gun up in the air. And I remember seeing that shot, and I think it was like 2019 before COVID, or right after, whenever. But I remember seeing that photo and being like, man, that's a really fucking cool shot. And then I remember saying that, and I was like, oh, someone just fucking died, and I said that was a cool picture. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
So I mean, it made me think about that. Like, yeah, you have these cool shots. I think another one people think about, or that comes up all the time, is the Tiananmen Square. And I don't know if bringing that up is going to get us kicked off of some podcast network, but yeah, the Tank Man.
Yeah, like these are really cool shots. And Kristen Stewart's character says this in the movie. She's like, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, yeah, like I took all these pictures to like warn people, like, don't do this. But like at the same time, like, but you took really cool pictures of stuff. Like, so what's the message you want people to see from that? Like, oh, this is horrible, we shouldn't do this, or hey, they're like, that's cool.
Like, hey, yeah, like, hey, you took really cool shots. I want to be just like you when I grow up. Like, how it's kind of like her being like that is kind of like being a screenwriter or trying to get into any kind of entertainment job right now, is where if you ask somebody who's done it and is having a hard time right now, they're like, don't do it. I did it, but you don't do it.
Yeah.
So there's also that gatekeeper element of, it was good for me, but it's not good for you. And they're closing the gate on the web, like as they're shutting you out. It's like, don't you do it. And so I kind of I hated Lee for that, because it's like, what, like this girl's looking to you as a mentor, and you're like, no, let me get my hands dirty. You go off and live your life. Like, you're being some kind of like you're being a hero by saving them from this thing they want to do.
Yeah, and the whole argument is like, yeah, you know, it's about war photographers and whatever, but then, you know, you got to ask yourself when you're watching this, are they trying to capture, because they say like, yo, our job isn't to like pick a side or like do anything. Our job is just take the picture and let people ask questions. I'm like, okay, so why don't you just take the picture instead of waiting for the perfect shot? Because do you want to showcase what's happening so people can see the truth? Or do you want to take something that'll get you on the cover of Time magazine?
Well, and I think Lee kind of contradicts herself too, because then at one point she says, once you start asking those questions, you can't stop, so we don't ask. We record so other people ask. And it's like, I remember hearing that. I'm just like, wait a minute, this, because the line you said, and then this one, I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
But yeah,
I don't. It's just a movie that really makes you think. Like,
yeah,
are you a good person? Are you a bad? Like, you're a good you're a good photojournalist. Like, there's no argument.
Like, she's kind of a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And like the other guy, Joel, her partner, who he's not a photographer. I think he's just like a regular like written journalist. But like, he's a douchebag. Like the whole movie. Like he's just like he's going to these like war zones going like, oh, what a fucking adrenaline rush. Like what are you doing, man?
Well, and he's the only reason Sammy is able to come along. He brings her under the cover of like mentorship, but really he wants to sleep with her.
Yeah, which is creepy and weird. And like he's just he's just a very
kid.
Yeah, he's a very like unlike, like this is a group of not really likable people.
Yeah, so that line you said earlier, every time I survived a war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this, but here we are. And then, yeah, once you start asking questions, you can't stop. So we don't ask. So we record so other people ask. It's just, I like Lee because the movie's about her regaining humanity as the movie goes on.
Yeah.
But just the shit she keep, like, it's that person who's made a name for themselves and kind of like gets by like seeing these younger folks who want to come up and like passing on this advice, almost like they're like gurus.
Yeah,
like
I think a lot of the reason why like a lot of like quote unquote liberals online were also mad at this movie is because it's kind of like the online liberal problem of like, well, do you want to like bring attention to the issues, or do you just want to be like the most like liberal? Like,
You
what
want
do
to be
you,
the loudest.
yeah, like what are you really trying to accomplish? So like, they're all like, oh, it doesn't pick a side, or oh, this movie, oh, it's about Civil War, it's not political. Well, it's not about politics. It's about people. It's about, this is, you know, what happens when this happens. And it doesn't want you to be comfortable with it. It doesn't want you to be like, hey, yeah, journalism good, I'm a good person, I'm on the right side. And like, none of us are.
And I mean, yeah. So the people who are bellowing, and I think there still are people bellowing about this movie. It doesn't pick a side. Like, it's a movie about journalism, and in journalism, it's you don't pick a side. You tell the story. You let the people, kind of like Lee says, you let the people do that, and it's seriously just a movie. Like the fact that it's so simple,
Yeah.
and like people got so caught up on it not picking a side. It's seriously about a woman who hasn't had to pick a side, who, you know, with her job didn't want to pick a side, and it's her slowly starting to realize the side she wants to pick is having the option to pick a side.
Yeah. It's like, and there's the great bit when they go to like the town that's like normal, and it's like, hey, like, don't you guys know that there's a civil war? And it's like, oh yeah, we just tune it out. We just pretend, you know. We look at the news, it's pretty bad, so we just chill out. We pretend it's not happening.
You know, I remember, like, because that part was very popular in the trailer, and I thought I was going to hate that woman.
Yeah.
And watching the movie, I was kind of related to her. Again, and this might just be for me, like, being on social media less. It was more so, it wasn't me. It's not me completely ignoring what's going on in the world. It's me choosing to not let it run my life. Stuff that I have, like, yeah, stay informed, be aware of what's going on, but not having it completely run your life and dictate all this stuff.
But I love that part because it's such a like good counter argument to their, we don't pick a side, we just take the pictures and let people choose or whatever. And I'm like, okay, but sometimes the people are going to choose to be like, well, this isn't really happening. So maybe sometimes you should pick a side, or, you know, like the movie's not going to pick a side, but it's kind of about like, maybe sometimes the journalist should pick a side. Like you can't just be like, eh.
Well, in that moment in the shop too, I think Joel and Lee are kind of disgusted by the fact that she's not like informed or not like, oh, we're like she's okay. So the way I read it, the woman in the shop, she's aware of stuff going on, but just chooses not to get involved. So I do like that, because it's just kind of her saying, fuck you, I don't care about what you're doing. Like, I don't care that you guys are out there taking your cute little photos, your cute little art projects. Like, buy my shit and get the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't care that our country is at war with itself. Doesn't
what
matter.
am I gonna do? I run a cute little boutique.
It's
like, buy a shirt.
I don't care that like 2 cities away there's bombs going off. Buy a hat, maybe.
But in the same instant, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do if like Kansas City gets bombed? Nothing. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna raise my children. I'm gonna go to work the next day.
Well, who cares about Kansas City?
Yeah, fuck the Chiefs. But you know, I have another thing, but I kind of want to save it for the other side of the sandwich.
The other like bun, or the patty?
The other like bun.
You wanna get into dislikes?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Okay, it's not really a dislike, but it did make me a little peeved. Okay, when they're in that store, Joel tries on a hat, and they kind of like Lee and Jesse are kind of like, no. I think he looked good in the hat, and he should have bought it. And I think they gave him bad advice, and I'm upset.
You don't have any issues with this movie, Matt. You're picking at straws.
No, I do have a couple of actual dislikes, but I just really felt strongly that he looked good in that hat, and their reaction to him in the hat was like the complete opposite of what any normal person should react. Because okay, he looked good. It was a good hat. He looked good in the hat. He should have bought the hat. No, but an actual dislike. I think there's too many needle drops. It got distracting after a while, and I don't even necessarily dislike them. Like individually, like they're all like good needle drops, and like
Trying to remember the fact that I can't like recall any of the needle drops. Like they're all just kind of there. Like I don't.
yeah, like
They didn't
like
really stand out to me. So
individually, I think they're good, like they work, but like there's just at a certain point, like there's so many of them, like it's just like they kind of drown each other out. And there's like one like actual like really great needle drop, when they're driving through the burning forest after their encounter with Jesse Plemons.
great scene.
Yeah, and I'm like, and so when they're driving through that forest after Sammy gets shot, like that's a great needle drop, and I'm like, if that was like one of like 2 or 3 needle drops in the whole movie, terrific stuff. But there's so many needle drops, it's like, oh well, it's just another one.
It's like they gave Garland some money. It was like, hey, take this.
Yeah.
You like this whole catalog of music? Go ahead, man. Put
It's
it
like,
wherever.
it's like he got a big budget and he's like, great, my whole playlist is going in the movie. And it's like, just stop it, Like there's
and it never stops.
like a good needle drop should have an impact. And so like individually, they're good needle drops. And that one needle drop when they're driving through the forest, like that has impact. But like there's so many needle drops. They're all they're diluted. It's like you pour too much water in the hot chocolate.
It's like when every day is a holiday, no day is a holiday.
Exactly.
I've got a specific area of the film that I don't like.
All right.
It's when Tony and Bohai come back into the picture, and I know this scene leads into the scene with Jesse Plemons and when everything goes batshit, and it's necessary to get him to that point. But the SUV hopping.
Oh yeah.
It just felt like they needed to separate Sammy. They needed to separate Sammy from not Sammy. I'm sorry. I've been saying Sammy this whole time. They needed to separate Jesse. Yeah, I said Joel was trying to sleep with Sammy.
Oh no,
Sammy is not Jesse.
No.
But no, yeah, they needed to separate Jesse from Lee and Joel.
Yeah,
and that's how they were gonna do. Like it just felt like it was there to do that, and it was like, what, really? They're on this highway just goofing off. I don't know. It just felt so out of place. Like everyone was like just so.
It did feel
focused.
to me that it felt to me like they had to come up with a really quick way to be like, we got to convey that these two guys, like they're fun, likable guys before we do what we're about to do. But like,
we need you to feel what's about to happen. Yeah,
but like, I don't know. I mean, it is it's a very jarring like switch, and I guess it works. But like, I'm sure you could have, like, they're. I mean, I guess Joel is like an adrenaline junkie, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, would journalists be car hopping like that?
The few journalists I know are not fun people.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I feel like
they're fun in their own right, but like these people throughout the entire movie, they are like so careful. They're so meticulous. They're like, this feels like a trap. We shouldn't go this way. Like the whole movie, they're like that. And then their buddies show up, and I get it. You got to let off steam somehow, but. The buddies show up in the SUV and everyone's just like, let's hop between SUVs, this stupid, dangerous thing that could get us killed when we're already trying to be so careful as it is.
Yeah. Yeah. They could have, there's so many different ways they could have conveyed, like, these are likable, like, just have them be there. Just have them show up and just have a conversation. Because I don't even think you have to show that they're like fun guys. Like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have to be fun. Yeah, they just have to be like normal, likable. Oh, they're other journalists. They're likable. They're this guy's friend, and then boom, right? Like you don't have to be like, oh yeah, they're so fun, and now look how upsetting it is. Like
Well, and you can convey that. Yeah, you can convey that very easily. They're journalists. Like they have stories. They have leads that they're chasing. You can show who they are by what leads they're chasing and what they care about, what they want to cover. And so just by having them goof off, I get it. You want them to be more human, but it just felt so weird. And the other thing is, I don't think Nick Offerman belongs in this movie.
Really?
He just felt so miscast. Like I can't not see Nick Offerman.
Is that a problem with him or is that a problem with you?
As a fellow Nick, I like him in everything he's in. It just felt weird. Something felt off. Something felt off about him playing the president, and he's in there so little that like anyone could have honestly played that role. He's in there to give that opening speech and then to be shot dead at the end.
Look, I think he gives a good opening speech, and I think that's, he looks like a shitbag president. I'll give him that.
I think he can go even shittier.
Probably. I don't know. I feel like he's the best you can do without delving into Trump parody.
Yeah, it's true.
Because he looks like just like a normal. He looks like what would be like a normal president pre-Trump, just like a guy.
Well, and I'm weird. So I'm so weird about his career now. Just because, so he was Ron Swanson for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then he played Bill in The Last of Us, which I thought he did really well in.
Yeah.
I thought he was really well cast as Bill as well. Maybe if not a little old for the role. And again, I'm not ageist, but I just thought a younger Bill would have been more interesting. I'm just like, he's not he's the grumpy old guy, the grumpy old guy that we get. I don't know. I felt like it just felt weird seeing him as president. And again, maybe I'm picking at straws here, looking for something to hate on the film.
My last quibble, I guess it's more than a quibble. This is the main bit that I think really like lowers the movie a notch for me. I think it goes from Jesse Plemons' bit to the climax too fast.
Yeah, it doesn't give you enough time to sit with what just happened.
Yeah, it doesn't give you enough time to sit and process it. It doesn't give the characters enough time to sit and process it. Obviously they do in between off screen, but so you go from that bit pretty much almost immediately into the climax. And so during the climax, there's a big shift between Lee and Jesse's characters. And you understand why that shift happens after the Jesse Plemons bit, but without something in between, it feels very jarring of well, why is she acting like that now? And why is she acting like that now? And it's well, if you had even just a scene in between of just them processing that, it would work better, but instead it's just we're going from this and then now we're going to Washington battlefield.
Yeah, because after that moment, they almost immediately get to the Washington battlefield, and Lee, from that point on, just feels like a shell of herself.
Yeah, and again, you understand why she's like that after the Plemons bit, and you kind of understand why Jesse's going gung ho after the Plemons bit, because she has a quick line after where she's oh, I was so scared, but I also never felt more alive. And it's okay, but at the same time, it's literally the scene before the Plemons bit, they were completely different, and then you do the Plemons bit, and then you go right into the fucking Washington battle, Call of Duty level, and they're completely switched, and you're well, hang on.
It's a really quick switch, snap of a finger.
Yeah. And again, you understand, when you think about it, you're okay, well, yeah, it makes sense. But you're well, but maybe give us something in between so you convey the switch so I don't have to think about, wait a minute, why are they oh yeah? Just show it to me.
Well, and there's a bit of it where it feels like Joel kind of also got some of what Lee was going through.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
No. I'm not. He definitely doesn't get it. But you could it feels like he gets a little bit of it, and then Lee dies, and you can tell that hurts. You can tell that fucking hurts him. He just when Tony and Bohai died, didn't believe that man felt anything in that moment. But when Lee fucking died, you could see it in his fucking face.
Yeah. Even when Sammy died, you could see.
Yeah, and I
could
think,
see it.
Because Sammy just died. And it happens, like you said, it happens snap of a finger. Sammy's driving, he's getting them out of there, and then you blink and Sammy's dead.
Yeah. And I liked Sammy's. Like, I think they handled Sammy's death well. I think it was like, again, like he saves them from Jesse Plemons. He rescues them, and he gets shot in the process. And I think like that was a nice scene. But yeah, and like you can tell like that affects Joel, but then in the next scene, again, it like you can tell it affects him, and there's that bit like where like you see him like screaming. So like obviously it affects him, but then it goes to the next scene, and it's like, oh well, now we're immediately in the climax, and Lee's different, but like he's not. So it's like, again, it's like, well, maybe you give me something, maybe and this is not a long, this is like an hour 50 minutes, right? So like you could have added like a 5-minute scene, not even 5 minutes. Just give me something in between that contextualizes what like her switch and Jesse's switch and why he didn't like change. Just give me something else, because it's just
right,
like.
Well, I think that could have been achieved if there was a little more time to focus on Sammy's death. I like the way it was done, but Sammy's the mentor character for Lee and Joel, and I think if they had just put a little something in that moment with Sammy dying, and maybe I'm misremembering, but yeah, just something in that moment just to see how Lee and Joel both react to Sammy dying.
Because like you can tell in their faces and their reactions, right? But like, and again, like there's that bit of like Joel screaming and like Lee is like cleaning up the blood in the car, and like she took a picture of like Sammy's body, and because obviously she would, because she's a shitbag.
Did she delete that? I don't remember. Did she delete that?
She did delete it, right?
Right. So I do like that. I just wish they had it like and again, I don't. They needed to pick a side on the death. No, but I just wanted them to have a conversation about it, because it was both of their mentors. I don't remember them having a conversation.
No, they didn't. They didn't talk about it. It happened to them. You see their reactions in that little like sequence afterwards, and then it just goes right into like the Washington battle. I was like, give me something in between.
Let them process.
Yeah.
Give them the chance to ask the questions.
Yeah. Let me see them process it, right? Let me see how that change occurs in them after the fact. Don't let me have to like be like, hang on, why are they? Oh yeah.
Can we get back to the other side of the bread?
Yes. Incredible sound design.
Great sound design. I felt like I was playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, the bullets in this movie are as loud as anything Michael Mann has made.
Michael Mann bullets, put it on the box.
Yeah, listen, Michael Mann knows a thing or two about making bullets loud, and Alex Garland clearly watched some Michael Mann movies, because the bullets in this are fucking loud. Anytime like they're in like a shootout where there's bullets flying, like you feel that. Like it's not like, hey, cool action. It's like, these are loud and frightening. Like this is danger. That's the sound of danger.
The scene that stands out is the sniper scene where there's a sniper in the house.
Yeah.
There's the two guys out in the field. I think it's Joel that gets down with them. He's like, what's going on? Yeah. And they're like, what the fuck does it look like is going on?
Yeah. There's a guy shooting at us.
Shot. You can hear them hitting the ground, and there's some weight behind those.
Yeah. I think too, and this was erroneously, I think, listed as a goof on IMDb, is that you can like...
The shellings, right?
No, it was like you see like the bullet hit their car before you hear it. But I'm like, if a sniper's that far away, like that would happen, right?
It would hit because the sound that comes from the gun, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, depending on how far they are.
Like you wouldn't hear that first.
You wouldn't hear the bang first because the bullet's going to get to you before you hear the bang, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, no one's ever heard a bullet and then ducked.
Yeah. As we've seen.
I need to, I'm sure there's a Mythbusters. I'm going to watch some Mythbusters on this.
But yeah, every bullet in this sounds like death.
Oh, the White House scene, like as they're checking their corners and they've got their little not submachine guns, but their little mini machine guns or whatever, and that whole White House breach just sounded amazing. Yeah.
Do you have any other likes?
Yeah, I really like the inclusion of Stephen McKinley Henderson as Sammy.
Yeah,
and I know I mistakenly called him Joel's thrust interest. I was mistaken. That was Jesse.
Yeah.
but no, I like the inclusion of Sammy as like a mentor to Joel and Lee. Going
Yeah.
back to Lee and Joel kind of being a mentor towards Jesse, and just seeing. And I mentioned the gatekeeping at the top, because Sammy doesn't want Joel and Lee to go to the White House. He's like, it's dangerous, it's stupid, you shouldn't go.
He's
You
the
can tell
smart one. He's the good. He's
the smart one, and
he's the only one who's
would-
likable throughout the whole movie.
right.
Like
he goes
from
out a champ.
from beginning to end. He's the guy that you're like, listen to him, please.
And I think Sammy is like this. He's the the figure he's the side you want to pick. If the movie picks any sides, it's Sammy's. Damn it.
Yep.
But Sammy. So I talked about Lee being this bad gatekeeper of a mentor that's like, don't do this. This is dangerous. Don't do this. And Sammy's kind of saying the same thing, but he's coming from a place of like, hey guys, this is not. We don't do like. I think people see mentors and they see mentors as someone who should be like, yeah, this is a good idea, go do that. And like a mentor should be someone supporting you through everything you're going to do. But I think a mentor should be someone who like has that insight of the way Sammy. So I'm trying not to contradict myself here. I'm being careful. The way Sammy talks about it is, this stuff sucks. Don't do it. This is very dangerous. This is what could happen. Whereas the way Lee talks about it is, this stuff's very dangerous. I'm an artist and I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like
And
Lee holds herself very highly, whereas Sammy's like, guys, this is like, I've done this. It's not smart. And that's just what the difference felt like. It felt like, yes, Lee and Sammy were saying the same thing, but it was the way Sammy approached it to where he wasn't like glorifying what he had done in the process of telling someone else not to do it.
yeah, well, there's a great exchange when they're in the town that's like pretending like not like everything's fine, where Lee is like, it's everything I've forgotten. He's like, well, that's funny because it's everything I remember.
God, I love Sam. I love
Yeah,
Stephen McKinley Anderson in this.
Just a nice presence to have along. Just a warm presence to be like, yeah, like just to counteract all the shittiness of like the other three.
Just a moral and he says not to do it, but he knows that Lee and Joel are going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And I forget how they talk him into it. But then just to turn around and see the way. So I mean, Joel's more supportive of Jesse, even though it's for the grossest reasons. But yeah, just the way Lee does it, where it's like, no, fuck you, you're not coming. I'm gonna go do cool shit. Fuck you. It's like, no, like, be more like Sammy. How do you have this awesome mentor and you're such a bad mentor?
Yeah.
It just says some cool things about mentorship on the side. We haven't talked about the most obvious high point of the movie.
Yes, this is in my notes. I was saving it for last because you got to save the best for last. I have one.
It's exceptional.
I have one.
Go ahead.
I have one more. If we're gonna say this last, I have one more thing that I want to say that I liked. I like how Lee and Jesse have like reverse parallel character arcs. Like you see Lee becomes more as the movie goes on, she becomes more human, and Jesse becomes less human, and that's fun, right? Like Lee
Parallels.
Yeah,
they picked sides, unlike the movie.
Yeah, then they the complete inverse of each other. Like Jesse starts out as this like innocent, like doe-eyed, like I want to be like you, and I'm gonna do this. I want to take these photos. And Lee's just this hard and like, get out of here, kid. And if you get shot, I'm gonna take your picture. And then by the end, Lee's the one who's like rediscovered her humanity, and like she deletes the picture of Sammy. She's like horrified and like freezes up at the Washington battle, right? And like the Lee at the beginning of the movie would not have pushed Jesse out of the way. She'd be like, okay, you want to get shot? Fine. But this Lee's like, no, I gotta be better than that. She pushes her out of the way, gets shot, and Jesse's the one who takes her picture. Just a monster. Just a little little camera wielding monster.
I love that Lee got her humanity back just in time to die.
Yeah. Did she die though? Because she was wearing a bulletproof vest. There was no blood to be found anywhere near her body.
There's no sequel, Matt. There's no sequel planned.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It was a machine gun, I'm pretty sure, Matt.
Bulletproof vest.
You know what? Put it in the IMDb errors page if you want.
Okay? Just
Put it in.
bulletproof vest. I saw this in theaters with my dad, and that was his first note when we were walking out of the theater was, she was wearing a bulletproof vest, so how did she die?
It was rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. All those bullets, man. All those
Right?
bullets.
There was you didn't see any blood pooling, no exit wound. So as far as I know as a viewer, that hit the back of her vest and she got some bruised kidneys. She'll wake up in 15 minutes.
It broke through the bulletproof vest, and like the vest held all the blood in. So it's just a bloody mess, and it's like a salt trap in there. Don't even think about it. I do like that. This movie is about journalists chasing their truth and like trying to get a scoop or trying to get like that picture. And I love the fact that none of these characters have last names. Just a fun little detail. Like, yeah, you might get the scoop, but nobody gives a shit who got the scoop. They just care about the scoop.
A fun touch. It was a fun. I like the photo developing over the credits. That was a fun touch.
That was a good touch.
That was a fun touch.
Is there a scene? It might have been that scene in the beginning, but is there a scene of someone yelling at someone because they're like using the black room and someone walks in with the lights on?
I don't recall.
Maybe I saw another movie where someone was in a black room, but I always love black room scenes.
No, because Jesse had like a portable developing system.
That's right.
Yeah, but let's talk about Jesse Plemons.
Yeah, we've been building up to this. I love that. In a movie about journalists chasing, like immortality in a way. Jesse Plemons is the most memorable thing in this movie.
He's got like how long is that scene? Like 5 minutes, maybe?
Not very long.
It's not very long. It feels long because of how like that's the type of scene that would give the viewer an ulcer for how stressful it is.
I think it's criminal, that scene. I get it. You need it to help sell the movie in the trailer. I still think it's criminal that was in the trailer at all. That should have been a surprise.
Yeah. Just 5 minutes of screen time, and Jesse Plemons is the scariest villain of the year. Just an evil racist man in his little red glasses. And he stole those glasses off some random person he killed, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like he got those off of someone in that pit.
Now, did he even... Now, here's a question. Is it the glasses? Is why he's so menacing? Like, if he wasn't wearing the glasses, would it still be like an all-time scene in this movie?
I don't know if it would be... it would still be a terrifying scene. It would still be like... It would still be stressful and terrible and terrifying. But the glasses really does put it in all-time territory.
Wait, is Jesse Plemons not credited in this movie?
No, he's not. He wasn't even supposed to be in it.
He showed up for someone. Someone wasn't there, right?
Somebody was cast as that part, and I don't remember why. For whatever reason, they had to like drop out, scheduling conflicts or whatever. And so like literally like the day before or whatever, Kristen Stewart was like, I think Jesse would do this. And Alex was like, Alex Garland was like, great, get him, bring him here if he can. And he
fucking killed. Like,
what an actor.
They had him on set not even a day, I bet.
Yeah, he just showed up.
He came dressed. He had the outfit.
I don't know.
The glasses and everything, and they're like, Jesse, that's not what we set aside for you. That wasn't what I'm wearing.
I don't know. The glasses I could believe was like him as an actor being like, I'm gonna wear these. And
it's like the face scratching, what kind of Americans are you? He doesn't have to do much. He's just so fucking menacing.
The way he'll like casually pick up his rifle like he's gonna aim it at them, but is actually just like pointing it up. Like he'll just move it around, like not even menacingly, so casually, but like you're like, oh, is he aiming at them now? Like what's fucking happening?
And I'm not in for victim blaming here, but if you're Tony and Bohai, you assume that guy's racist. You say you're from Cleveland, right?
Oh, for sure.
You fucking lie. Like, Cleveland, I'm big Cleveland. And you don't call him the Cleveland Guardian.
I'm sorry,
add that extra, like you call him their old name, and you're like, nope, I love the team. I hate that they changed the name.
As
Go,
soon as
go
he-
Cleveland.
As soon as he shoots Bohai and then goes, "What kind of American are you?" You don't fucking say you're from Hong Kong. Like, no, I'm from Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
No, I love to, like, it gets the whole, like, is this guy even, because he's wearing a uniform, and you're like, is this guy even part of either of these armies, or did he just say, hey, there's a civil war going on, I can go kill some black people?
He's the perfect parallel to Gift Shop Girl.
Yeah. Like, Gift Shop Girl in that town is like, yeah, well, we like to tune it out, and, it's just, it's so depressing. And then he's like, oh, we're at war now? Great, I can go kill some fucking people.
Right. Gift Shop Girl, I'm selling shirts. Jesse Plemons, I'm going to kill some people I don't like.
Yeah.
And get some cool glasses in the meantime.
Yeah.
What if he bought the glasses from Gift Shop Girl?
Imagine. No, he definitely got those off of one of those bodies.
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah. That was him throwing a body in a pit and like, oh, wait, what?
Oh, yeah,
And
nice
he pulled it out of their
glasses.
shirt. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, look at these nice things. I love the casual way too. Like he's just casually sprinkling the fertilizer on like this like mass grave, like he's gardening. Just
Yeah, what's your plan? What's your plan there?
no, but it's just the casual way he's doing it. Like it's like he's acting like this isn't a pit of bodies. He's acting like this is like some tomatoes that he's gonna be growing. Just casually scooping in the bag while he's got terrified hostages.
I think he's even the whole uniform was probably stolen, like from someone that he killed.
Yeah, maybe. Like he's the quintessential. Like everybody's like, oh, well, this movie's not picking sides. Well, I mean, like he's probably the clearest villain this movie has. Like there's very clearly a type of person who this is based on, right? So when people say, oh, this movie doesn't really, have anything political to say about blah, blah, blah. And yeah, the movie doesn't pick sides, but like this, like it's there, right? Like if you pay attention, like the little hints to like who's who, like it's there if you're not a fucking idiot.
Well, and if something like that were to break out, it's chaos. And it's like you said, it's chaos. And then like you said earlier, humanity. Like there are no sides. There's chaos and humanity.
Yeah.
That's it. Fuck. These fucking people.
Oh.
I just want to. Everyone who got mad at this movie, not picking a side. I want to put on my red sunglasses, and ask them what kind of film watchers are they?
Oh my god, my Letterboxd review for this, my most recent Letterboxd review for this, after this watch was literally, if you think this movie has nothing to say, you might be an idiot. And I stand by that. Like, if you watch this and go, I don't think this has much to say, I think you might be a little bit stupid.
I think you might need to be spoon-fed every fucking thing.
Yeah. And I saw some, like, professional movie critics say, like, those types of things. Like, this has nothing to say, or this doesn't pick a side, it's cowardly, and this is fenced in. Like, are you like, you're a movie critic. Why are you dumb?
You have the job doing... You have this job that a bunch of other people would kill for. And
And you're in your professional review going, this movie has nothing to say, it doesn't pick a side.
You're dumb.
I
hate you.
Now you're reviewing the movie that you wanted it to be, and that makes you stupid.
There are people that didn't like this movie and thought it was bad because it didn't pick sides. Those same people probably liked Joker.
Even worse, those same people probably liked Joker Falea Dudu.
I don't think anyone likes that movie.
Someone's got to, right? So
someone somewhere. I do like the way this movie ends. I like that I almost called her Ellie. I've got Last of Us on the brain. I like that Jesse did take a picture of Lee, finishing the complete swap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's not deleting that picture.
No, just a perfect. Lee dies as a human, and it's almost like Jesse in that picture is stealing her soul.
And you know what? I don't think it's that good of a picture either. So she's not going to delete it, but she's also not going to use it.
Yeah.
which is just the most
and-
morbid thing.
I know.
Because it's
and
like,
why would she use
would
it?
wa-
She just got a picture of the fucking dead president.
oh, the last line. I do love the last line. He's like, don't let them kill me. And Joel's like,
he's like, wait,
yeah,
he's like they're
that'll
about to shoot him, and Joel's like, wait, I need a quote.
I laughed at that.
Oh, there's I need a quote, and they're all just like, okay, fine. Don't let them kill me. Like, what's this guy gonna do? First of all, just a nice cowardly little. I know you said you don't like Nick Offerman in this, but I like the way he sells that as just a shriveling man in his last moments.
Mr. Journalist, please
Don't let them kill
me.
Right? Because like his speech, I think he delivers that speech at the beginning well. Like you can tell, like this guy's like a, he's clearly lying in this speech. He's trying to convey like this sense of power, and then we see him again. Don't let them kill me.
I think if I had maybe like 5 more minutes of Offerman, like in another speech or something, that I would like him. But now that you mention it, I did like how sniveling he was at the end.
Yeah.
Which is what you need in that moment.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you that Joel really didn't give a shit about the quote at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know. This is a little nitpick. Like, Joel is like, I guess, the journalist, right? But like, he's going to all these places, talking to these people. He's not really doing any journalism. He's not asking questions or writing anything down. Why? So like,
I think Joel is the journalist that wants to be able to say like, oh, I interviewed so and so, I did this, I did that.
Yeah, like he does
almost like the TMZ. And I know that. I mean, that's
like he says he says he works for Reuters.
Who doesn't? They let everybody in,
right? But like he doesn't actually seem concerned in any of these sequences about like writing things down, like getting the stories from like the people like in the war. He's just like, nah, this doesn't matter. I'm just gonna go interview the president.
Joel was a podcaster in a past life. He was a podcaster. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be at the mothership on August 12th.
Oh, I just before we wrap this up, as a Canadian, so I'm Canadian. I live in Canada. I saw this in a movie theater in Canada with other Canadians. There's a bit at the beginning when they go to that gas station and they're like, we have $300. And they're like, $300 could get you a sandwich. And Lee goes, 300 Canadian. And they're like, oh shit. Like they're rich. I don't know how that played. I don't know how that played for you, but in a theater full of Canadians, that killed.
It was funny. I forgot how deceptive. It's been like a week since I've seen it. I forgot about that scene. But how convenient of you to be Canadian and not have to pick a side in this movie.
You know what?
As always.
I don't have to pick I don't need to pick a side because when both sides fight, our dollar goes up, as you can see. I'm looking forward to it.
It's that scene from Wedding Singer. They're losing their mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits.
No, but yeah, that got quite a few chuckles in my theater when I saw this back when it came out. Just the notion that they'd covet our dollar.
Fucking Canada. Hey, it could happen. It could happen. You never know.
Yeah, when this becomes real, oh boy, I'll be rich.
Really depressing that you said when.
Well, let's be honest.
It's any day now. Any day now.
Oh.
And we'll be forced to pick a side, because if you don't pick a side, everyone will dislike you.
All right. What do you give this out of 5?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Really?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Again, the Offerman stuff, the SUV scene. I mean, those are my biggest gripes. The fact that I come away from it, and the thing that it's one of those movies where the most memorable scene was something from the trailer, and that always kind of peeves me off a little bit. So yeah, 3.5.
All right. I give this a 4.5.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I thought we were gonna meet somewhere in the middle, but
no,
you were a little higher on it.
I did. Yeah, I give this a 4.5, and I think I didn't have a problem with Offerman. I have some of the same quibbles as you, but I just think this just really works for what it's trying to do. And I did get a little choked up when Sammy died, so that earns it at least a half star extra.
Yeah, I like what it's saying about mentorship. I wish it would have picked a side. I'd probably give it another star if it picked a side. But
yeah, if this had something to say, maybe it would be a 5. But it's not all movies have things to say.
Hey, so what? It's my least favorite Alex Garland movie. So what?
You
I haven't seen Men yet, so
Oh, okay. So
is
the
it still no for Alex Garland? Aside from what people say about Men, sounds like a pretty good guy.
yeah, as Aaron said, I think Alex Garland is very good at his job.
He's moving on up.
Yeah. So the real question is, how does this rate as a dad movie?
I think dads will hear the sound. I think what gets the dads is Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah.
The dads are also gotten by the dads do love Nick Offerman. I'll give them that.
Okay.
The sound design of the bullets.
Yeah, they'll love the. There's not a lot of action scenes, but they will love those. I think the road trip nature of this. I think that dads love a good road trip, right?
And dads will see Sammy and be like, "Oh, he's gonna talk some sense into these young people." Dads like Jesse. Is Jesse Plemons dad territory yet?
I think dads do like Jesse Plemons, and I'm basing this solely off of my dad, who loves Jesse Plemons because he was Todd in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, not often a character comes in like last season of a show and like leaves a splash like he did.
Yeah, like I'm basing this solely off of my dad, but I think other dads have to feel the same way. They saw him in Breaking Bad, and they're like, "I love that guy." And they see him in other things. They go, "Oh, it's Todd from Breaking Bad," and he always blows them away.
Well, and he's been around so long now that no one calls him Fat Damon anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think he's dads are pro Jesse Plemons. I don't know if dads like the overturning of democracy. It depends on your dad if he's what side of the valley he's on, but
well, I think this is where it gets money, because on the one hand, I think dads do like a political thriller type movie.
Dude, dads want a side to be picked.
But that's the real question. Does this gain dad points because it doesn't pick a side, so dads don't have to think too much about the sides? Or does it lose points because dads want there to be a side to pick? Because dads do love a good clear hero, clear villain type story. But do they just want to watch a Civil War road trip movie in like a dystopian future and be like, "This is cool. Loud bullets, Jesse Plemons."
I do think dads want to be told who the good guy and bad guy is.
All right. Yeah, probably. Yeah, dads don't want to. Yeah, dads don't want to hear that Liam Neeson's character in Taken might be a little shady.
If I compare it to the most dad movie I know, which is No Country for Old Men, like the movie very clearly sets aside the good guys, the bad guys.
Yeah, Heat.
We haven't created a scale yet. Maybe we should create a scale eventually down the line. But I'm gonna give this.
I mean, we have the percentage.
We have the percentage, but I mean a scale where like at one end is like 100% where the Heats and the No Country for Old Men go, and then the other end is
Miscongeniality.
I wouldn't even know what Miscongeniality.
Which we'll never talk about it on this show, but I enjoy.
Yeah, unless we're like blackmailed or something, or like I don't know, someone gives us $20 to watch it.
I mean, we could do it and just say, "Well, it's not a dad movie, but let's figure it out."
No, I'm gonna need the $20.
Maybe it is a dad movie. Let's determine. No, but
we dissect Miscongeniality.
Listen. I like Sandy B.
I do like, and I do like the twist. I like the twist at the end of Miscongeniality. I'm gonna give, on the dad scale, I'm gonna give this film, Civil War 2024.
Yeah.
A 70.
A 70?
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 75 because there's not a dad that doesn't perk up when they hear the word Civil War.
That's true. I was also, I was also leaning 75. Because dads love a good road trip. They love a good mentor figure. They love a good Jesse Plemons appearance. And they're going to go crazy for those bullets. Even if they fall asleep to this on the couch when it's on TNT, they're going to wake up for that final battle, man.
Exactly.
They're going to wake up. They're going to wake up. Yeah, they're going to wake up and go, "Whoa, what the fuck? Hell yeah." But
75 feels good.
Yeah.
It trends a little higher if you're a sci-fi dad, I feel like. But yeah, 75.
Yeah, if you like a good dystopian, probably go higher. It does, again, lose some dad points because there's not clear good and evil.
Right.
And like the
the dads would not like the SUV stuff. I say that as a dad on this show that didn't like the SUV jumping stuff. So
yeah,
too
and
much
you know,
horsing around in vehicles.
yeah, I don't know how receptive dads are to 2 female protagonists.
You know what? I think it works if one of them is Kirsten Dunst.
That's true. Yeah,
I don't know if you know
75
this.
is right.
Dads that grew up with Spider-Man are now, or people that grew up with Spider-Man and her as Mary Jane are now old enough to be dads. So
yeah. Well, not only
they
that,
see her and they're like, oh.
Not only that, but the dads who watched Spider-Man with their kids also like Mary Jane.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah. And there's also the dads who just saw Deadpool 2 and like to quote it and go, Kirsten? Oh, well. Like my dad.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, my dad does that anytime she's in a movie, or my dad will do quotes Deadpool 2. Is it Kirsten? Every time. Every time. Sees me watching like fucking Bring It On is on TV. Kirsten? That's the first thing he says.
I think I'd get along with your dad, Matt. Based off this.
Yeah, well, 75 feels right. So it's a 75% dad certified movie.
Down the middle.
Yeah. Well, a little bit above the middle, I guess.
Well, I mean, down the middle for us. We met in the middle on that one. Or no, we can't. Never mind.
No, we agreed perfectly.
It's getting late. My brain is fried.
Yeah. Okay. We do goofs before the dad jokes, right? I don't remember. I think
goofs before. So this is the newer segment. It's been going on for a little bit now, so it's not that new.
3 episodes. This is the third time.
Third time we're doing it. This is the IMDb goofs that we pull that they're kind of head scratching to us, so they don't make us mad. We're just disappointed in the person.
No, what did we rename? We renamed this segment.
Did we?
Yes, the Negative Nancys of the Week.
Negative Nancys of the Week. These are the annoying IMDb people that go on and be like, well, actually, if this actually happened, this wouldn't. No. If we had a locker nearby with those people.
They stop at a J.C. Penney on the way to Pennsylvania, but actually there are no J.C. Penney's in between this city and Pennsylvania.
Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Brad Pitt's character in Burn After Reading, they go to a Jamba Juice. There's no Jamba Juice within 50 miles of D.C.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Just total Negative Nancys. If you watch a movie and this is the thing on your mind, the top thing on your mind, you're watching movies wrong.
We're going to stuff you in a locker. By the way, second week in a row, a movie set in D.C. Look at us. So I've got 2. They were right next to each other, so I figured, I'm doing both of these. So these are character errors.
All right.
The journalists drive around with equipment cases on the roof and a gas can on the back of the car. In a war zone, they would be robbed instantly.
How do you know, person on IMDb?
Every car they drove past had something on it. People aren't hurting. There's a store that is still operating in one of those states perfectly fine. The towns seem to be fine for the most part outside of the battle zones. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, what's your
People are still trading the Canadian dollar.
How many people voted this is helpful?
4 people said it was helpful, and 7 said it was not. This was this was last week when I pulled it, though.
Okay.
And then the other one I've got, Lee, Kirsten Dunst, Kirsten, says that she has to climb 10 flights of stairs to reach the 10th floor of her hotel. In reality, starting on the 1st floor, she would only need to climb 9 flights to reach the 10th floor.
Oh, fuck you, person on IMDb. I wish it showed us the username so I could specifically curse them out.
I really wish IMDb still had usernames up on these. 6 people found that helpful.
Oh, God.
Fuck those 6. 71 did not.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Shoving both of these dorks in a locker.
Okay. Well, listen, unfortunately, what I'm about to tell you, 45 people found helpful, and only 13 people had the smarts to say this is not helpful and stupid.
I'm loading up the website right now to add my thumb down.
The sprinklers in the safe town have talk, talk, talk sound of impact sprinklers, even though they are continuous flow sprinklers.
How many likes did you say?
45. 45 people were like, yeah, thank you for informing us of that fact.
How many dislikes?
13.
I'm sorry to inform you. I'm on the site now.
Yeah.
48 people found it helpful.
Oh
13
my
found it
God.
not helpful.
3 more
14 now
people.
with me.
3 more people found it helpful since I pulled this.
In the time you found it, 3 more people were like, "Hey, those sprinklers didn't sound right."
Oh my God.
And then they got on IMDb and saw this, and they're like, "Oh my God, I thought so too."
I'm sorry. If you watch a movie and in the movie there's a very quick insert shot of some sprinklers and your thought is, that's not making the right sound, you should be sent to Guantanamo Bay.
You should be locked in a movie theater, forced to watch Joker 2 for 72 hours. The sprinklers in the Safe Town have the talk sound of impact sprinklers, even though they are continuous flow sprinklers.
Frankly, I don't even trust someone who knows that much about sprinklers, let alone someone who's thinking that while watching a movie.
Reading that sentence out loud just now pissed me off.
Oh, I hate him. I hate him so much. Okay, dad jokes. I have
Dad
to
jokes.
clear my brain. What do you got
All right,
for me?
I have an actual joke here. I wrote this one down.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the movies. Okay, here we go. Matt, what did the rebels say after assassinating Nick Offerman in the Oval Office?
What did they say, Nick?
It's all oval now.
You can't see me, but I'm rolling my eyes.
You're rolling them in an oval shape, so thank you.
Oh God. All right. I thought of a good joke, but unfortunately I cannot say it because it's negative and needs to be developed.
Fuck you. I'm shaking like a Polaroid picture over here. I'm that furious at you for that joke. I'm pissed.
I thought it was good.
Nope. Still upset by it.
Upset
upset
in a good way?
I'm picking a side on this issue. That bad joke.
Okay.
Bad joke, Matt.
Well, at least you picked a side.
Mine was more developed.
Was it though?
No, it came to off the top of my head. Hey, it was a flash. There we go. More camera puns.
Flash in the pan.
I don't mean to scoop you. God, I hate scoop culture. Oh God.
I hate paparazzi.
I'm gonna scoop you.
Just
the way I hear journalists talk about scoop culture on podcasts. Just
we should get a journalist on here once under the guise of talking about a journalism movie, and then really we just shit on them the whole time.
Hey, we want you to come on about Spotlight. And they're like, "Oh, it's a very serious topic." It's like, yeah. Why the fuck do you partake in scoop culture? Why do you scoop people? Why are you building your name off of scoops, man?
Well,
Fuck you.
let's be passive aggressive about it. We'll talk about Spotlight. And be like, oh yeah, Spotlight, great journalism movie. Oh yeah, did they get good scoops in this? Was it a good scoop?
Was it a good scoop? No, it wouldn't be a scoop today. You'd save it for your fucking book, wouldn't you?
You'd save it for your paid Substack, wouldn't you?
Fuck. I wonder if journalism school teaches Substack. Where they're like, hey, you guys aren't gonna find a good paying job, but
save all the scoops.
Save the scoops for your Substack.
Or your book.
They get rid of like a newspaper class, and instead now it's like Substack 101.
All right, class, today we'll be learning how to save all your good stories for the book that you'll be publishing in 3 months.
All right, class. We are doing I was thinking about that the other day on a scoop on a book that's relevant to us, and I was like, oh, why would you save that for your fucking book? Just write it in the fucking paper you work for. You fucking prick.
Is it the book I'm thinking of?
Maybe.
Tell me off show.
We'll talk off show. We'll talk off show.
Let's you know what time it is.
I had one more Substack joke.
Oh, do it.
All right, students. Today we're teaching clickbaity titles and subtitles. I didn't have a clickbaity joke to end that with, but I just wanted to say clickbait.
All right, well now you know what time it is. Speaking of clicks.
Spin that wheel.
Yep.
spin that wheel.
I'm gonna click this wheel. Since this is not
Do you have a preference for what you want next?
I would like one of the horror movies because as we're recording this, it is October. This episode, the episode will not come out until after October. I'm almost sure, but I would like to be able to watch them in October.
We were ahead. We keep recording ahead. We're not taking too many breaks.
Yeah, I mean, recording ahead is nice, but I would like to watch these this
exactly.
Month. All right, this is an audio only podcast, and this wheel there's no audio hooked up to recording, so as always, you will get to listen to the sweet sounds of me pretending to be a wheel.
Please be something streaming. Please be something streaming. Please be something streaming.
Oh, sweet Lord.
Oh no.
No, this is a good sweet Lord.
Oh, sweet Lord.
It's A Quiet Place.
Whoa! Is it Paramount Plus here in the States?
I think it should also be on Paramount here. A Quiet Place.
This gives me a good excuse to watch the prequel that just came out as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. A Quiet Place is on Paramount Plus, and it's also on Netflix here in Canada.
It looks like they're all streaming on Paramount Plus right now. So hey, have yourself a monster movie marathon. It's kind of crazy how fast this series, it's become a series, and it's kind of like a money-making series. Like there's a game coming out in a week.
There is a game coming out in a week, although I don't know if it'll be good.
I kind of want to play it though.
I'm interested in it, but I saw a gameplay preview of it not too long ago, and in the gameplay preview, I'll try to find it and I'll send it to you. But like the character who you play as, it's like a first person game, and you have to, it's like one of those like stealth horror games where it's like you have to like sneak around like the monsters or whatever, and so obviously you got to be quiet, but like for whatever reason, and maybe this was just an early build, but like the footsteps of your playable character sounds like they're wearing fucking clogs.
Yeah, as of recording this is out in 12 days. It's on the 17th.
Oh wow. What the fuck's
it?
The road ahead. The road ahead.
I do like that they're already abandoning the numbers and just being like, we need a subtitle for this. Okay, this kind of has Alien Isolation vibes.
Yeah. Can you hear the footsteps in the trailer?
Here, let me check.
I'll send you the gameplay preview that I watched.
Oh, these sound like hooves.
Oh yeah, it's in the trailer too.
I'm watching a little bit of gameplay here.
Oh yeah. Like I hope they change that.
This is very much Alien Isolation. I need to see if I can grab a review copy of this, because this is gonna be my cup of tea. I'm watching all these movies. I'm gonna play this game.
Yeah, if you get a review copy, tell me if it's good. Because like I was interested, and I was like, because the movie's on the wheel. I haven't, I'd like to play it.
You've not seen the first movie, right?
I have not. No.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So we've got a first time viewer.
Yeah.
I'm a returning viewer. I saw it in theaters, and I'll save this for the episode, but it was an experience.
Yeah. So like I haven't seen these, so I was like, I was like, it's on the wheel now, so I'd like to see it, and like I'll watch all three of them, and like if I like them or whatever, I'd like to play this game. I'm interested in the game, and then I saw the gameplay, and I was like, well, maybe I won't get this game. It's like just walking around with loud hooves.
Just clop, 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 clop.
Yeah.
I do have a sentimental spot for the second one, because it was my first movie back from COVID. And so it's kind of weird how you have those movies that you relate to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The second one's not as good as the first one, I'll say that. Because I mean, I'll let you be the judge for yourself, but the second one, it leans on a certain aspect a little too much. And you'll see when you watch it. When you watch all three of these in one run, like I know you will, you'll get it. You'll see it. You'll be like, "Oh shit, yeah." This is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good episode. I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very curious how this game turns out. Because like on the one hand, like
it's giving. So it's the first person survival. I don't know if you fight back. You probably use like a sound weapon to like chase the enemy away.
I don't know
Very
because
sound based.
the gameplay I saw there was no combat, so I don't know if it's like one of those like Outlast type thing where you just have to like hide or whatever, which I don't dislike.
I will say I'm a little over the monster design in this series. And maybe that's just because Cloverfield like got me in the mindset of like, oh, the aliens will have all these different like species when they come. So just seeing the same thing over and over again, I'm like, okay, all right, now where's like your queen xenomorph? Where's your alien Romulus weird looking baby at the end? Spoiler for Alien Romulus, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't. I can't find anything if there's actual like combat or not in the game. Or if
I'm watching a 10-minute playthrough and I haven't seen any.
I think that's the one I watched. Yeah, there was no combat in that one. It was just like them sneaking around very loudly with their fucking hooves.
But I see a puddle there. I've got the volume off so you don't get the feedback. But I'm like, they're gonna clip clop through that fucking puddle, aren't they?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Because I'm like, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Alien Isolation. But like I don't like mind that style of horror game. But maybe the gameplay of this will be good, but I feel like if I'm playing a Quiet Place game and that's what the footsteps sound like, that's going to piss me off the whole time.
Well, maybe they have the option to like turn. Well, that sucks because you turn the footsteps down, but then they're still making a sound for. They're still making a sound for the enemy.
It's like if you're making a Quiet Place game and the footsteps are that loud, I kind of don't have faith in you.
I think it's to drive the fact home that like, hey, you need to be really quiet, and we need you to crouch.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, but you know what? Maybe it'll review well, and I'll get it.
Oh, you're gonna wait for people to pick a side, and then you're gonna pick a side.
I'm just gonna see what listen. I'm just gonna see what the consensus is. Hopefully, some of like the reviewers that I actually like follow and trust their opinion on will play it, and I'll be able to be like get a good sense of if I'll like it or not. I'm not one of those people that will be like, oh, the Metacritic score is this, so like. That determines it for me.
No, Matt, you're very much the IGN gave it an 8. That means it's a 6.
No, I don't even.
You're very much. That's who you are.
No, I there are critics that I know and follow, and that's who I listen to, which is frankly what everyone should do. PSA: stop going to Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic and looking at the aggregate score and being like, well, that sells it for me. Like. Find reviewers who you enjoy and who have similar taste or just whose work you like and just like focus on them. You know, don't be like, oh, well, the consensus. Fuck the consensus.
Yeah, make your own decisions, you fuck. And make sure it's not someone who's like overly positive for everything. Like people can be negative about stuff. Like,
no,
that's what bugs me in current like review culture and just like criticism culture is like you're not allowed to criticize, you're not allowed to be negative. I have a friend who would go and see every movie. He would go and see every movie in theaters and he loved every movie. And it's like I can't talk to you about movies because you like every movie. You have nothing mean to say. I want to know the bad stuff too. You're allowed to be critical. That's the fun in it. If we really like everything, like Jesus.
Like, look, I'm open about this. Like, if you look at my like Letterboxd like graph, it skews towards like the higher end because generally I like movies. So, I'm very much I'll go into a movie and be like, I go into every movie assuming it's at least 3 stars, and most movies meet that at least. But man,
it can go up or down. Okay,
it can go up. It can go up or down, right?
I like that.
And I go into every movie under the assumption this will at least be competent and somewhat entertaining. 3 stars, and it either goes up, it's either better than that or worse than that. And I'll admit this, you know. You look at my Letterboxd. It skews positive because I love movies, so I like to watch movies. So when I watch movies, I find things to enjoy. But if you're enjoying absolutely everything you watch, you got a problem.
Right. You're allowed to hate stuff. You're allowed not to like it.
Like I probably like most of the things I watch, but I'm not going to watch Borderlands and find things to like. It's not possible.
Right. And you can be negative, but just remember it's how you feel about the movie. It's not like I feel like there are some people who will hop on Twitter and be like, Alex Garland can't do this, can't do that. He's a terrible filmmaker. Like I tweeted today about the ambulance episode, and I said, "Hey, I was on a plane watching this, and I hate flying, and the plane ride wasn't my least favorite thing that day."
Yeah.
And that's just a reflection of me. I didn't like the movie. It wasn't me saying this movie fucking sucks. It's like, nope, ambulance, not for me.
Yeah, you can dislike a movie that has good filmmaking. Just because you dislike it doesn't mean it's like bad filmmaking. Bad filmmaking is like The Room. Right? Like, to me, that's bad filmmaking, where like the camera's not focused, like things are cut off in like that's bad filmmaking.
And
Right.
that stuff end up having its following. That's
Yeah.
okay too.
I mean, The Room is it's a hilarious movie. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't enjoy watching it, but it's objectively a terrible film.
Yeah.
But like, you can dislike movies that are well made. Doesn't
Yeah, just don't, yeah. You stop
just because you
depending on
just because you
Metacritic,
dislike
stop depending on Rotten Tomatoes.
yeah
You're allowed to thumbs down something on Steam. You're allowed to give 2-star, 1-star reviews on whatever app. Fucking go wild, man.
yeah. The point is
Shit gets better. Shit gets better when there is like criticism on both ends, positive, the negative. Shit, that's the only way shit gets better.
what we're really trying to say here to end this. Somehow Civil War is like our longest episode. What we're really trying to say here to end this is give us a review. Doesn't matter, just do it.
Look, you have to pick a side.
Yeah,
You can't give us 3 stars. If you give us 3 stars, we're
You're a
gonna
coward.
fucking turn you
Yeah,
in.
you're a
We're gonna put
coward.
you in a ditch.
you're a coward and a fence sitter. So just pick a side. Do you like this podcast, or do you dislike this podcast? 1 star or 5 stars? Pick a side. We don't care as long as you pick it. We
Pick
have
a
a
fucking side.
we have a preference, of course, but we're not gonna pressure you into anything. But you gotta pick one.
I think I have the perfect line to end the podcast.
Go for it.
What kind of podcast reviewer are you?